The topic of this resurrection doctrine video is simply to testify that I believe that in a Reformed biblical church, the doctrine, maintaining the doctrine that the resurrection is already past, is intolerable. It is not to be tolerated in our churches. And we have this, of course, in the well-known example in 2 Timothy, 2nd chapter. Hymenaeus and Philetus, men who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. Now, in the view of some errorists, Hymenaeus and Philetus were merely a bit off on the timing. The time would come very soon in which the resurrection was already past, and there would be no particular reason to get all that upset about a minor error of timing or chronology, would it? But no, Paul has such a concept of the resurrection that he regards this as a gospel-denying error and with the potential to overthrow the faith of some. I.e. some, those who are swayed by such teaching. Now, a time ought to be allowed for instruction in such matters. If a person is humble-minded and teachable, that is. The similar, serious error of the Corinthians mentioned in 1 Corinthians 15, as you know, how can some of you say that there is no resurrection of the dead? Well, Paul was not, I think, for throwing such people out of the church forthwith. There was a period of instruction contemplated, of which, of course, 1 Corinthians 15 was a major part of that, insofar as the local teaching ministry was not sufficient to do so. That's a note in itself, The local teaching ministry is not always competent to deal with the errors that arise in a particular church. But Paul had the ministry gift to do so, and hence he wrote 1 Corinthians 15. But if after instruction people are not in favor of receiving the true scripture doctrine of the resurrection, I see no course of action but to go for the what Paul says in 1 Corinthians 16, "Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them that are causing the divisions and occasions of stumbling, contrary to the doctrine which ye learn, and turn away from them." And you know the rest. That's a valid point, by the way. In a previous video, I brought up that I think it's unreasonable to think that people that believe in the physical resurrection of the dead are damned and have never believed the gospel. In fact, now and ever, the great majority of Christians have been converted, saved, and eventually brought to glory under such teaching. But the reverse, the doctrine that would question or throw doubt upon the sincere Christian hope of those who have believed the Reformed doctrines under which we have come to salvation and grown in Christian discipleship. It seems to me that such division causers need to be seriously considered if after instruction they may remain unconvinced if they should remain in Christian fellowship. Well, that's all for this video. Some sort of hard words I have to say, but I believe they need to be said.